So you're looking for a handgun, but you don't know what type of handgun you're looking for, or even what's a good gun or what's a bad gun. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons on what to look for in a handgun. The first thing I won't be covering is the money part. You're a grown up, you can decide how much money you want to spend on a handgun. Doesn't really matter to me. However, I do advise you start out a little cheaper, probably between the $350 to like $550, $600 range. And that's just because you don't want to get over a too expensive gun, and you don't want to get too cheap of a gun where it's just going to ruin the experience. Now, the number one reason that you want to look for in a handgun is to decide whether you want to conceal carry or not very much open carry, but home defense carrying, you know, just gun range carrying. What I mean by that is when you want a handgun for conceal carrying, you're obviously going to want a smaller gun. It's different type of research, whereas if you want a handgun for home defense, or you know, you just want to put bullets down range, you're going to want a bigger size gun. Each type of handgun has its own purpose, so make sure you keep that in mind, because when you're getting a handgun just to shoot, you don't really got to worry about the weight, the grip texture, if it's comfortable, uncomfortable. Then you got to get a holster, whereas you know, you just get a gun, you want to send bullets down range, you don't really got to worry about any of that kind of extra stuff. And this is my beautiful girlfriend. Should people consider carrying? Focus, like, okay, let me rephrase.
You should conceal and carry because it's the best thing you can do. Also,
Now, the second reason when you're trying to buy a handgun is making sure like it's optic ready or not, and make sure you ask the person whether it is or not, because if you buy a handgun, as you can see, there is no plate here to even add a red dot. Optic ready means that you're able to put a red dot if you want on your handgun whenever you choose to. Now, keep in mind it's going to be like an extra amount of money, but just having that option is going to make your enjoyment of buying your first handgun much more enjoyable. Because yeah, you might be stuck on irons for a bit, but when you want to add a red dot, it can really add to the experience of shooting a handgun, whether it's full size or whether it's like a subcompact, compact for concealed carrying. Now, the third reason, or I guess now number 3 on what you should look for in a handgun, is the grip. So when it comes to the handle, you want to make sure like your hand actually fits in it. Okay, a lot of people make this mistake. Have a gun in mind, have never held it before, and now you don't like it because it doesn't fit in your hand well. Get a good grip on the gun. Make sure you have both hands on it, pointing at the ground, and also feel like the texture. See if it's like too sharp, too aggressive, maybe too smooth to where like it's feeling like it's sliding off your hand, because you'll be very surprised on how the grip can determine whether you hate or love the gun. The grip texture can really help you in purchasing your first handgun, or at least help you know what you don't like or like about the handgun. Now, the fourth thing on what you want to look for when purchasing a handgun is the brand reputation. So obviously there's a lot of guns out there with good reputation, bad reputation, and you just want to make sure you know what gun you're kind of getting yourself into. And don't just look at Glock, SIG. Make sure you're looking at specific models as well, such as the Glock 43X, the Glock 43 compared to the Glock 17, or maybe the SIG P365 compared to the 360. I think the 360 is the one that goes off on its own. You want to stay away from that gun. Don't even think about that. That gun should not be on your radar at all. Well, coming in at number 5, we have the trigger. And what I mean about the trigger is the pull weight, whether it's a smooth trigger, cheap trigger, or even if it has a safety on it. What makes a smooth trigger is this. You have just a regular standalone trigger, and as you pull it, it's gonna hit a wall. Like, it's not going to go anymore unless you pull the trigger even harder. And then you have the brake, and then you have the reset, which the reset is letting go. Oh, look, click already. That's a very good reset trigger. So what makes a very good trigger is, for one, how it feels. You pull down and then it has a wall, like boom, it just stops. And also the reset is very quick. Like, that's a very quick reset. So that's what makes a very good trigger. And then you have your reset, which helps you get shots on target faster. Just overall helps you with the gun experience a lot better, and helps you find what's a cheap trigger and what's a pretty good trigger. But overall, those are my top 5 reasons on what to look for in a handgun, so that way you don't make a mistake on, you know, just going impulse buying a handgun. You want to make sure you do your research, because the last thing you want to do is get a handgun then regret buying it because it didn't have the feature you wanted or things to buy. Now, obviously there's going to be a lot more things to that list on things you should look for when buying a handgun, especially if it's your first one. These are just my top 5. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should I have brought something else up instead? Did I leave something out? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, and I forgot to say like and subscribe, so make sure you do that too. See ya.